Hey, this is Ryan from WebEminence.com. I'm excited to show you the website builder Wix today. You can find it at Wix.com. It's actually the #1 result in Google right now if you were to search for website builder. Wix has been around a while. There are a lot of website builders popping up every couple months. You'll see new ones. There's a lot of popular ones that are very new also, but Wix has been around for a while. I think since 2006. They're based in Tel Aviv, Israel, but they have offices in the US also. You can read my blog post for more information about the company. But these website builders tend to get better with age because they're continually making improvements. So since Wix has been around for so long, their website builder has gone through so many improvements that it's very good. It's actually one of the best I've reviewed so far, so I'm excited to show you what it can do. I like to rank website builders on a scale of fun to frustrating. A lot of website builders are just so difficult to use that you find yourself just frustrated after just a half hour of using them. The opposite is true with Wix. In testing it for just a few hours, I found myself having fun. So that says a lot for the experience that they've built. So you can actually log in and create a website very easily and actually have fun doing it. And there are so many features packed into the Wix HTML Editor, as they call it, that I'm going to have to skip a lot of it just to keep this review under 20 minutes. So let's get right into it. I'm going to show you as much as I can in a reasonable amount of time. So I created a free Wix account and I created a free website. You can create as many websites as you want within your Wix account, but you have to upgrade each one individually in order to use your own domain name and to upgrade some of the features like the storage and to remove the Wix ad from your site. So this is the main dashboard when you log into your Wix account. You can upgrade your sites, you can manage domains and mailboxes. You can also change your settings, view your different sites. You can manage your online store, your contacts, and your site members from here. And just to show you the process of creating a new site, I'm going to click the Create New Site link down here. And the first step in creating a Wix site is choosing your designs. And this brings up one of the first benefits of using the Wix website builder and one of the advantages it has over many of the other website builders out there. First of all, there's tons of designs to choose from and they're really slick. And if we just scroll through here, you'll get an idea of how unique the designs are, and they're very modern. They don't look like templates. And you'll see they all have mobile responsive designs, which we'll get into later. If you look over here on the left, you see all the different categories they have. So I can click on entertainment and see a handful of sites. I can click on photography and see a number of different websites. You'll see all these are free. I haven't found any design themes that actually cost money yet. One downside to using the Wix website builder that I've seen online is that once you choose your design, you can't change it. So if you chose a design and wanted to change it in the future, you'd have to start your site over from scratch. And that's because these designs are so complex that you can't just switch templates and transfer all your content like you would be able to with some of the more basic website builders with very simple template-based designs. So it's really important to take your time in choosing the right theme that you want to use for the long term. One aspect of using a free website on Wix is you're just going to be limited to using a Wix subdomain. So you can see in the middle of the screen here, my subdomain is webeminence.wix.com/webeminence on Wix, or WE on Wix. So you can have a lot of sites all under this subdomain. And then if you want to connect a domain, you'll have to upgrade that site. So you can read more about pricing on my blog post. So to really see the guts of Wix, we got to click on Edit Site, and that's going to take us to their website builder, which they call the HTML5 Editor. And just to explain the basic layout, you have your work area, which displays your website in the main part of the screen. And I want to point out a few things on the top navigation. First of all, you can click on Mobile Editor, and you'll be able to change a lot of aspects of your mobile site so that when people view your site on a smaller screen, like a tablet or a smartphone, this site will be displayed. So it has larger text and everything's sized to look better on a smaller screen, and you could customize everything on here, like removing certain images that are maybe too small for smaller screens. So a lot of website builders do this automatically, but they don't do it very well, or they don't provide this at all. I'm not going to go into detail on this now. I just wanted to let you know it's there, and I might do another video on this later. So we go back to the desktop editor. Up at the top, you can use this drop down to go from page to page to edit your different pages. There's an undo and a redo button, which are pretty important with Wix because of the way that you can make small changes. There's a copy and paste button. At the top, you're also going to see options to turn grid lines on and off. There's a snap to feature that keeps your objects in line. And there's rulers and guides you can turn on and off to help you keep your objects in line. And these features are really important with Wix because unlike a lot of other website builders that use a box layout, Wix really uses more of a layered layout, so you can actually overlap your different objects on the screen. So for example, this slideshow down here is actually overlaid on this image of a computer monitor. And I could also grab this text here and move it right up here if I wanted. A lot of other website builders use the box layout, so you can't overlap things, but they're automatically aligned next to each other with the appropriate margins. And that's nice for some people who don't really want to have much creative play with their website. But Wix is great for people who really want the freedom to move different objects around to create custom looks. And then you can already see why undo is important, because there's so many different little changes you can make that you want to be able to easily go back a few steps to undo the different changes you've made. But overall, the layered layout of Wix is pretty awesome because it gives you so much freedom in design that you're going to see as we go through some of the different elements that you're able to add to your website. So that pretty much covers everything in this top black navigation bar. The next thing to look at are these buttons on the left, where you're going to do most of the work creating the design of your website and adding elements. So the first button is called Pages, and if we click on that, one thing I noticed using Wix for the first time is they gave me a lot of help in the form of pop-ups that give instructions on how to use certain things for the first time. And you'll see some directions here on how to use the Pages menu. You can click Learn More for more directions. But the Pages menu is basically used to arrange the pages of your site. So I can take these pages, I can rearrange them on the main navigation. I can click the settings icon and change the name. I can hide it from the main menu. I can set it as a home page. I can protect the page with a password. And I can change some of the SEO settings for the page. You can also click Add a Page, and you can add a blank page or use all of these preset templates that they have available. I'm going to cancel that for now. And then you could change the main settings and SEO. And at the bottom you can change the page transitions, which changes the animation when you go from page to page. So right now it's on swipe horizontal. I could change it to crossfade. And there's what that looks like. I could change it to out in. And that's kind of like a crossfade also. I could change it to swipe vertical. And you'll see what that looks like in the preview. So you can see really easily just by changing the page transitions, you can give your site a really unique look with the animations. So that pretty much covers everything under the Pages menu. The next one is Design, and that's where you change the look of your website. I can click on Background and choose from some of the different backgrounds they provide. There's colors and there's a lot of different graphic backgrounds. You can also click this blue button to upload your own background. So you can see the different unique looks you can give your site just by using the included backgrounds that they provide, and then you can use your own picture to give your own personal look. So go back to the Design menu. You can also change colors, and they give you a lot of different preset color schemes. So you'll see as I click these, the colors of the fonts are changing, and probably some other elements on the screen change too, like the border on the picture. So that's a real easy way to just give your site a custom color scheme. You can also customize your palette. So if we go back to design, then I can also change the fonts. So you can choose from their font selections, or you can click on customize fonts and change every aspect of the font for the different styles throughout your site, like titles, headings, and then the main body text in the different sizes. So it's real easy to customize colors, backgrounds, and fonts to give your site, your unique look by using this design menu. The next menu is called Add, and that's a really important one because it's where you add elements of content to your site. So if I wanted to add text to this page, I would just click on the text icon, click title or paragraph. I'm going to click paragraph, and you see it just adds this paragraph right on top of everything. So I can drag it down here if that's where I want to place it. I can double click on it and change the text. Use all these options to format text effect, colors, alignment, add links. With any of the elements in Wix, you can use these handles to drag and change the size of an element, and then you can use these special handles to drag and resize elements while keeping other things aligned. So for example, if I was to drag this text element down, it would realign and move this paragraph below so that they don't overlap. You can also click on any element. You can edit the text. I can change the settings, like adding an animation. And this is one of the coolest parts of Wix, is you can easily animate every element on your page. And you see the live preview right here. So I can do expand in. I can change the duration and the delay. I can do a fade in. I can do a float in. And you'll see how all these are given a preview as I click on them. And after you click on each one, you can scroll down here and change some of the different settings for that animation. Like for this spin effect, I can change the number of spins, I can change the direction, I can change the duration of the spin and the delay. There aren't any other website builders that I know of that give you so much control over animating different elements on the screen. So let's go back to the editor now and continue looking at the add menu where you can add different items. I already showed you text. You can also add an image. You can add an image with a frame or an image without a frame. You see my image down here has a frame, and I can click on it. Can edit the image, I can change the link, and I can change the style of the frame. There's special frames. I can personalize it. I can change the corners. I can round the corners. I can change the border width using the slider. So it's real easy, just like everything else, to change the border and the look of a picture frame by just changing these settings. Adding galleries is a really cool feature of Wix that kind of blows away other website builders. So if I go to my pictures page, I already added some galleries so you can kind of see what they look like. You can see the different options they give you for galleries, and for each of these there are different settings that you can change to give it even more flexibility. So I'm going to go to my live site and click on the pictures page just to show you what some of these galleries look like. This one has these little radio buttons that you can change the picture. You can probably add an arrow too for the navigation. Here's another gallery I added where if you click on one of them, it opens a little light box where you can scroll through with the arrows, and you'll see all the pictures are animated, and you could pretty much change the animation effects for each one. Here's another gallery slideshow with just some arrows and a cool kind of accordion effect. So this would be a great way for a photographer, for example, to throw their images up on a website and create these really cool galleries to display their work. So going back to the add page, we're going to move on from the galleries. The media menu, you can add videos. I'm going to show you real quick how that works, because you can add YouTube and Vimeo videos pretty easily, but of course they give you the option to personalize the style of it. So I can add these cool borders and shadows to the videos. You can change the border width and the corner sizes to round them out again. And I know with YouTube videos on the site, sometimes people like to remove the title, remove the controls, so it just looks like a really clean video with no controls. They give you an easy way to do that in the settings by just clicking on these buttons here. I can change to a light control bar. I can remove the control bar entirely. So it's just a video with no controls, even though it's from YouTube. So right there it gives you a little bit more controls over YouTube videos than you're going to find on most website builders. And that's just, again, Wix giving you total control over the look of your website. So I'm going to delete that YouTube element. You can delete any element you add to the page by just clicking on it and then pressing delete. So back to the media menu, you can add SoundCloud audio. I can add documents for download. I can add an audio play button to play any audio file I have. And then they have iTunes button and a Spotify player. So if we go back to the add menu, this is a really unique feature of Wix that gives you even more design flexibility on your site. So if I click on shapes and lines, I'm going to go back to my home page. I'm just going to throw a few of these on the screen. You're going to see the different shapes and lines you could add to the page. So here, for example, is a strip. I can add a box over here. And let's say, for example, I wanted to edit this strip. So I would click on it and click on change style. And I click personalize this element, and I can really quickly change the background color. And an important thing to realize with Wix, again, is everything is layered. So if I wanted to click on an element, I can use these small buttons down here to bring it forward or to send it back. So if I click send backward, and I'm going to click sending it until it's behind the text layer. So now I have this line behind my text. It's kind of like a background for the text. Looks like I didn't change my color change, so I'm going to go back and change that to a different color. Click OK. So now you see I have this background behind the text. And with these shapes, of course, you can customize everything about them. I can change the style of this box to a few preset styles, and I can customize each one, make it a circle, give it a shadow, change the border, the background, the border width. And then of course I can use the handles to change the look. So for example, if I wanted to put this box behind this text, I could really easily create the shape, move it down by the text, and then I would click the send back button until it's behind the text. And there you go. I'd probably need to change the font color so that it shows up better. So I would click on that, select the text, and maybe make it more of a white color. So there you see, real quick, I just add these few shapes to be backgrounds for the text. So there's really no limit to what you can do. I mean, I'm not really an artist, so I'm limited in what I can do. But for artistic people, you can see the potential for creating sites with Wix is almost endless. So if we go back to the shapes menu, let's see what else we can add there. There's vertical lines, horizontal lines, which are self-explanatory. There's also shapes you can add. So I can throw the shape on the screen and then click choose shape. And you'll see it opens this menu of all these different preset shapes you can choose from. So I'm going to go back to the About page. And let's see if we can make me look a little bit cooler by adding a shape. And I haven't reviewed any other website builders where I'm able to give myself a mustache, but let's see if I can do that with the Wix shape widget. Oh, do you know, they do have a mustache widget. So I can real quick just resize it to fit my face, drag it over, rotate it, a little too big. And if I want to make it match my hair a little bit, I can just click on settings, change the fill color to more of a gray, or maybe we'll go with clicking more colors and make it more of a brown. So there you go, sweet mustache. You can't do that in any other website builder, but Wix gives you the creative freedom to use these shapes to really do anything you want. So if we go back to the add menu, I think that explains shapes and lines. There's a buttons and menus, or I can add a button, can change the look of it, I can make it a link, can also add menus, and those are basically copies of your main menu, but you can drag them anywhere throughout your site and change the look of them. So that works well for maybe a footer menu or maybe a menu in your sidebar. You can add image buttons, which is basically an image that's a link. You can easily add PayPal buttons, iTunes button, and you could add anchor links, and those are basically links to other sections of the page you're on, or even specific sections of other pages on your website. So we're going to go back to the add menu. You can add blog elements, so if you have a blog on your site, you can easily add galleries, post lists, a tag cloud, a blog ticker, and a custom feed. So that's a really cool way to feature your blog posts on different pages of your site. Online store, I'm not going to cover too much, but Wix does give you the ability in their upgraded accounts to add an online store and sell your products. So I might do this in another video, or I'll link here to a Wix video where they show you some of the capabilities of their online store platform. Under social, you can add a lot of social icons like a Facebook like, share, Twitter follow. So if I click that, it's just going to create a follow button that I can customize. I can add Google Plus. I can add a social bar, which has a number of buttons. And there's a few other like Pinterest, YouTube, and Spotify. The next section under the add menu is apps. And this is another unique feature of Wix that you won't find in many other website builders. The apps are basically widgets you can add into your website to expand the functionality. For example, there's a few here. Contact form, you can add Google Maps, an HTML widget if you want to add some HTML code into your site. You can add Flash objects, PayPal buttons, Skype buttons, a Flickr gallery. You can add a member login to give your members access to protected pages. And then if you click here, you can see more apps in the app market. So in the app market, there are a bunch of apps from Wix that you can add. Some of them we've already seen. Most of them are free, and there's several that are from third parties and require a monthly fee. Here's one from BookFresh, which is an online scheduling widget. I actually did a separate video on the BookFresh software. So if you were to click on this BookFresh widget, you can click Add to Site, and it's going to put this BookFresh booking widget right into your site, and then you would go into the app settings to link up your BookFresh account and change the settings for how the BookFresh widget looks on your site. So that's just one example of an app, and this one gives you the ability to allow your visitors to book online appointments and even pay for appointments through a BookFresh account. So there's a number of third-party publishers who create these apps. So there's new ones created all the time, and if you just click through some of these categories, you'll see there's several photo gallery apps. There's several apps for creating forms on your website. Here's an e-commerce category with a bunch of e-commerce apps to allow you to sell on your website. So the apps are a great way to extend the functionality of your website. That's one of the major downfalls to many website builders is they're just not expandable. You're kind of limited to the widgets they give you, but with Wix opening this up to third-party developers, it gives you a lot more flexibility in creating your website and expanding the functionality by creating e-commerce or social plugins, contact forms, photo galleries. whatever these apps allow you to do, you can add into your website very easily. The next section in the add menu is a list builder. And again, this is another unique feature in the Wix website builder that I haven't seen in any other website builders, at least not quite like Wix does it. What the list builder is it gives you a bunch of categories of pre-made lists. So whenever you have a web page with a list of items, whether it's events, videos, team members, a product list, maybe a menu if you're a restaurant, these different pre-formatted lists are going to save you a lot of time in creating lists of items on your web pages. So if you maybe wanted to include frequently asked questions on one of your pages, you can just add this to your site, and it's going to create this pre-formatted frequently asked questions list. And of course you can change the look of it, but rather than going through and changing formatting yourself, you have this pre-formatted list. So you can double click in here and change the text. You can change the image that goes with the list. You could change the design, the spacing, all the design flexibility you're used to with Wix is included in the list builder. So now we're done with the add menu. So I'm going to close that. The next one is the app market, which I already showed you, and then a settings menu, which opens up some basic settings for your site, like the address. You can change some of the overall SEO settings, like your title, description, and keywords. You can change some social settings. And if you're an upgraded user, you can look at your site statistics and change your favicon, which is just a little icon that displays at the top of the browser. Another important aspect of the Wix editor is the grid lines and the snap to feature, which is really important because Wix gives you so much flexibility with this layered style format that if you're not careful, you can end up with things being misaligned and overlapping each other. So with these features on, like the grid lines and the snap to objects, you'll see as I drag these items around, it shows me these purple lines and orange lines that allow me to connect different elements and to align elements. And the snap to element, when it's enabled, shows me when an element is aligned with another element on the page. So if I was to turn off the snap to objects feature, you can see I can drag around this element without it snapping to any other elements or showing any guidelines. So that pretty much covers everything in the Wix HTML editor. Let me just give you a quick look at my live site. I'm going to go ahead and click publish again. And you'll see some of the changes I made. Again, notice on the free site, there's going to be some ads for Wix. Like on the upper right, there's an ad. And then at the bottom, there's an ad. So most people are going to want to upgrade to at least the lowest package so you can use your own domain name and get rid of these Wix ads. So if I scroll down the page, you're going to see some of the elements we created, like this text with the background. Again, you see this picture gallery, which is overlaid on the image of a monitor. If I click on About Me, you're going to again see some of the animations of the page, and then you'll see the picture that I created. If I did it again, I'd probably want to animate that mustache so it doesn't fly in before my face does. There's some other pages I didn't show you, but there's some animations. Here's a price list. Pictures page I already showed you, and then a blog page, which I didn't spend too much time customizing, but you can change the look of this. So I think that's pretty much everything I can show you with Wix. Some of my website builder reviews are very short because some website builders don't give you many features, but with Wix there's so much to show you that this video is going to end up being a lot longer than many of my other videos. But overall, I love Wix. It's probably my favorite website builder that I've reviewed so far because of the design flexibility that it gives you. It's really easy to use, and it's fun to create a website with it. I really would recommend Wix for anybody looking to create a website on their own, but it's especially useful for those people who want to spend more time tinkering with the design of the site and people who are maybe artistic and have a real specific vision for how they want their website to look in color, in design, and just customizing the look overall. There's so much design flexibility with Wix that you're going to be able to spend just a few hours with their HTML editor and create something that's really unique to you and your business. Wix gives you free access to their website builder, so you can create a free account by clicking the link below this video and play around with it before you ever connect your own domain to make your site live. If you have any questions about Wix after watching the video, feel free to comment below this video or on my blog post, which has a lot more detailed information that I didn't cover in the video. Make sure to subscribe so you can watch some of my future videos on YouTube, and we will see you on the next one.